Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time to join this meeting today. I really apologize for starting the meeting late. It's as a result of network problems, and we hope your patience and understanding to be here waiting for us to start the meeting. I really appreciate you. And my name is Stavley Joshua. I'm here to continue with the training we have been, you know, undertaking for the past 15 days. And today we are also going to continue in that light. And we are on 1 month professional diploma training in peace and sustainable development. And this is not our first training. We have trained people on peace education, on emotional intelligence, and alternative dispute resolution. And we are looking at peace and sustainable development. Next month, we'll be looking at peace and conflict management, one of our main courses. And if you have not registered for that course, take time to register for it. It's going to be an interesting time spending together, and also share the link with people. Let them also benefit from that training. So share the links, let them join as well. Register to be part of the upcoming training. But by and large, I want to welcome all of you for today's training, and we hope that we're going to have a wonderful time here together. If you have any question, you ask in the comment section. If you have any concern, you let us know. Thank you very much. Um, so, as it is our tradition, if you have joined the meeting, you do way to share it with your contacts, share it with your on your wall, let others participate in the training. There's two ways to share the meeting to get people to know what is happening here. All right. By so doing, you'll be promoting peace indirectly. All right. So I'll do way to share the meeting with someone. Comment to paraphrase what we are talking about to show that you are following me. All right. So whenever I check the comment section, I see your comment. I know that you are following me. So thank you very much. So today we are going to look at Module 4, Unit 2. And we are looking at you know, community-based peace building and development. We are looking at community-based peace building and development. All right. So that's what we're going to look at today. Community-based peace building and development. Just like they say, politics is local, so also peace and development. All right. Development and peace are also local. You first and foremost have to achieve community peace before thinking of achieving global peace. Without achieving community peace, global peace cannot be achieved. It's the collective effort of peace at the community level that brings about global peace. So, in your locality, doing your own little way to contribute to promote peace, that will bring about what global peace. Just like I used to say, if we share this and they stand a chance to benefit from this training for free and acquire knowledge that will help them to promote this little thing that you have just done, just to post this link on your wall or to share it with someone, you have promoted peace enough. Do you understand? You have promoted peace enough, because by so doing, someone will get to know about this training and they will come to take this course and gain knowledge that will help to promote peace in our communities. Do you understand? So that's why we say you share the link. It's not for anything, but it will get someone to know and follow and be, educated, be transformed, and then be impacted. Do you understand? So that's what it is. So we are going to look at community-based peace building and development today. So community-based peace building and development involves the active participation of local communities, of local what communities in resolving conflicts and promoting sustainable development. You can say the active participation of communities in peace building. So that is first and foremost, I say in conflict resolution or in resolving conflict. All right. But the second one I say in peace building. So it must not necessarily be it that there should be conflict before any effort towards conflict resolution will take. No, you can take actions to forestall even the outbreak of conflict in the first place. That's what we call conflict prevention. Do you understand? Mitigation. Do you understand? So promoting peace building, it takes the participation of local communities at that level to achieve the peace. And if you think what I'm talking about, if we're in a city, for instance, now, when we're talking about community, some of you will be thinking it's village. We are talking about village, that you should go to your village and promote peace. No, 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 that's not. We are in your city, in your estate, in your area, in your estate, is your community. In that marketplace where you used to go and sell market, is your community. In that church where you used to go and fellowship God, is your community. Promote peace there. Do you understand? So it takes the active participation of local communities to promote peace. All right. On grassroots approaches, recognizing that community possesses valuable knowledge and resources to address their, because I can tell you for sure that in your own estate, you know the challenges of the security in your estate. You can pinpoint those that are causing trouble in your community. And it is easy to address and identify and deal with those people that are causing trouble in your community than if you want to, like, say, okay, you are from Anambra, you want to go and address problem in Sokoto. How possible is that? It can only be possible if you go to Sokoto and the local communities in Sokoto cooperate with you. Do you understand? So that's why it is. So it takes the active participation of community members to promote peace, their communities. So what are the principles that follows community-based peace building? Let's look at some of the principles that are embedded in community-based peace building and development. One is inclusivity. Make sure that all the stakeholders in the community are being carried along. Women, youth, the old, everybody is carried along. The government and every other institution. All the members of the communities must be included in decision making. They must participate, they must contribute towards bringing peace, bringing about peace in that community. Everybody, the youth, the young, the old, the women, all of them, right? They must have a voice in decision making process. Very important. So inclusivity, that's number one. Number two, local ownership. If the local people take peace building initiative, if they own it, if they embrace it, they can work towards its implementation. If the local communities own it, embrace it, welcome it, every peace building initiative that they welcome, that which I guarantee you can be successful. But if the community people say no to a particular peace building idea or initiative, just consider it to be a failure already. If you like impose it on them, institute it, it will still be scattered. Do you understand? So encourage communities to take responsibility for peace building initiatives. All right. So once they take responsibility, accept it, embrace it, welcome it, and actively contribute towards the achievement of the initiative, certainly peace will take place. So community must own it. That's one thing. Local ownership, inclusivity, local ownership. These two principles must be there. Number three is cultural sensitivity. Cultural what? Sensitivity. We have different cultures, and these cultural affinities must be identified and articulated in our peace building effort. So when you do not identify this cultural, you know, uniqueness of these communities and inculcate and embed them in the peace building initiative, then just consider it to be a failure already. Because you're not coming to my community and then you want to impose what you believe in, not what I believe in. No, it's not possible. You understand? So understanding and respecting local customs, because one of the things that we have been finding difficult to achieve peace in our communities is because in most situations, the people who want to bring about the initiative first and foremost ignore the local community. They want to bring what they know. No, let your peace building initiative in inculcate the values, the custom, the norms of the community people. Do you understand? By so doing, they will embrace it. They will welcome it as something strange. They will not look at it as something strange. They will welcome it and work towards the achievement of that. Do you understand? So sustainability. Number four, sustainability. So implementing development projects that are long term and consider environmental, social, and once you have this into perspective, it's possible that it can be, fulfilled. It can be sustained over time. Community people can give it attention, and of course, it will be a success over time. Do you understand? So, collaborating or collaboration, working with external organizations. Yes, if I come to your community, I'm an external partner in progress. So you collaborate with us to make sure that we bring peace in your community. Do you understand? So that's how it is. So by so doing, we will be able to have peace in our community. So working with external organizations, government, and other stakeholders can bring about community peace. So we discuss 5 principles when it comes to community-based peace building. Number one, we say inclusivity. All right. Let So those are the principles that are embedded in community-based peace building and development. All right. So let's look at some of the local initiatives for peace building. All right. Let's look at some of the local initiative for peace building and sustainable development that are so crucial to foster long-lasting focus on addressing the root causes of conflict and promoting environmental, social, and economic sustainability. So let's look at some of the common initiatives that are about what are they? Number one is community dialogue and mediation programs. Community dialogue and mediation programs. Right? We have I don't know whether Prof is online here today, but he used to join the training all the time. He is the committee chairman of that's the peace committee chairman in his own community. He's the chairman of the peace committee in his community. Do you understand? He yeah, he took about three paid courses with us. Three paid courses. He's a professor, a retired professor. Three paid courses with us, and that's to tell you that we are not wasting our time. Prof himself took three paid courses, and he has been doing these free ones that we are doing as well. He just want to know as much as possible so that it will contribute to his assignment as a community leader, and not just an ordinary community that to bring peace in the community, resolve conflict. Do you understand? So community dialogue, this is what we're talking about here. Community dialogue and mediation programs. So what is the objectives of this kind of programs? Is to resolve conflicts peacefully through dialogue and negotiation. So you know how community operates. When there's an issue, either they take it to Igwe or to the community head, you understand, or the village head. It depends on the organogram of your community or your village. You understand? We apologize for the network issues. So we are looking at some of the community initiative and we look at community dialogue and mediation programs. We are talking about the objectives of this is to resolve conflicts peacefully through dialogue and mediation or negotiation. So and the approach is local leaders or trained mediators facilitate discussions conflicting parties, helping them find common ground and peaceful solutions. Like in most places where, like in Igbo land, for instance, if uh, people are having challenges, they report it to their community, their village head, and then from village head to Igwe. The village head can serve as a mediator, or the Igwe serves as a mediator, all right, mediating in the conflict, for instance. Do you understand? So we have different levels at which we report our own conflict and expect people to intervene. So community dialogue and mediation is very important. Like village level peace committees in countries like Kenya. And then I was giving you this example I was giving you of a professor being a chairman of his village. He was his community, his Igbo land. So and we have such kind of arrangement also in Kenya. And we have in several places as well, where we have community leaders acting as peace, all right. They may not even know, some of them may not even know what they're doing, whether it's a mediator or not. They will not have the responsibility of making sure that there's peace in the community. Do you understand? And when two people have challenges, they come to them for mediation, professionally or unprofessionally. You know. Then we'll talk about local economic empowerment projects. Local economic empowerment projects. So objective is to promote economic stability to reduce conflicts and poverty. Right? So one of the things I want to do there is skills acquisitions. Do you understand? Several of them. And then we empower them. So if you have those skills, you can also come and then train people. We may not necessarily pay you, but you know, you have to train. And if you have a token to give, we will give you. Do you understand? Or you train people, and these people will mobilize resources and empower them. Do you understand? Because we know that that is the best way we can reduce conflict in our societies. That is the best way we can reduce crime. That's the best way we can reduce violence, including domestic violence. Do you understand? Some of the domestic violence as a result of poverty. So much tension in the family because of no money. Do you understand? So um, people needs to be empowered. So local economic empowerment project can help a lot. So we're training people in poultry and layers, um, growers, and then we'll talk about uh, fish farming, talk about several skills acquisition like shoemaking and several others. We're going to be training people and be empowering them. They understand. So that's what we'll be doing next year by God's grace. So and we hope that you can be part of this. All right, I'll be part of this. So we're looking at approach local entrepreneurship programs, microfinance is build livelihoods, especially for women and youth, especially for women and youth. They're the ones that need this level of empowerment seriously. Terror activities, just for them to have a source of livelihood, reduce tension in the home, and of course in the community. Do you understand? About local community dialogue and mediation programs. We talk about local economic empowerment projects are some of the examples that we're looking at. So community-based cooperatives that promote fair trade products in regions affected by conflicts, such as coffee cooperative in Colombia, can go a long way to help. All right, so we'll talk about environmental conservation and climate resilience. Environmental conservation and climate resilience. Do you understand? The community people make efforts to preserve and conserve. whatever resources, forestry resources, aquatic resources that are in their domain. They make sure that they work together to preserve them. Do you understand? So it's very important that they must be involved. Right? The objective is to promote sustainable use of natural resources and reduce environmental degradation. So that the community people should be aware that if you fall one tree, you need to plant one. You cut down one tree, you have to raise one. Community people must be aware of this. Do you understand? So this is what we're talking about here. So what is the approach here? Local conservation projects such as reforestation, sustainable farming practices, and water resource management are often led by communities. Because somebody who is in Abuja visiting a particular community, how can he go and protect the river there or the waters there? Or someone called Minister of Water Resources, how can he go? It's the community people that will do it. You understand? So tree planting and agroforestry programs in sub-Saharan Africa, where communities work together to restore forests and improve food security, is one good example in this area. We'll talk about education and skills development. Education and skills development. The objective to build a culture of peace and empower future generations. All right. So can go to school, make noise, teach children about peace. Local schools, vocational trainings, centers, and peace education program focus on teaching conflict resolution, leadership, and sustainable practice. Yes, one of us is planning something like that in Anambra State. I will shortly, and she's intending to invite us to come over. All right, so we are coming there, we educate them, teach them. All right, I'm even thinking of the topic already for the presentation. All right, I'll work on some other kits that we need to teach the teachers so that they can use it in schools. Do you understand? So um, it's going to be an interesting time if it is scheduled, right? But that's what we need. That's what we need. So, peace education initiatives in Rwanda, teaching children and social harmony after 1994, in a good result. You can see Rwanda is enjoying relative peace. Do you understand? And of course, see development in that regard. So, as a result of this thing, all right? So, peace education initiatives in Rwanda. In Rwanda. Talk about social cohesion and reconciliation programs. Social cohesion and what reconciliation programs. All right. So one of the objectives is to foster trust and understanding among diverse groups within a community. So community people must trust each other for them to be able to stand united. Because where there is no trust, division is there and collapse is imminent. Do you understand? The collapse of the community is there. So they must foster trust and build trust and understanding among the community members. So approach is organizing what intergroup activities such as sports, arts, and cultural exchange programs that bring together people from different ethnic or religious backgrounds. All right. So if you are celebrating your festivals, invite others too. Even if they are totally religiously based, you can invite other religions and other tribes to come and witness what you are doing or even participate. So reconciliation workshops in post-conflict areas like Northern Ireland, where divided communities engage in shared activities to rebuild relationships. So that's it. So you can construct bridges together. You can carry on you know, monumental project together, just to work together to facilitate peace, right? To promote peace in a community. Talk about local governance and participation. So the objective here is to strengthen local governance structures for more inclusive and transparent decision making. So the community people must be involved in decision making and they must take responsibility. That's what we say ownership, local ownership. So they should be included in the decision making process in the peace project in their communities. Very important, right? So approach like initiatives that empower local councils or community assemblies to take an active role in governance and development projects as needed. Right. For example, participatory budgeting in Brazilian cities like Porto Alegre, where local citizens decided or decide how public funds are allocated. Very important. So we discuss some of the initiatives that are being carried out in peace building in our communities. And we mention what are the initiatives we mentioned? Community dialogue and mediation programs, right? We mentioned that's by way of recap. That's sometimes by way of recap. We discussed community dialogue and mediation programs, local economic empowerment projects. We discussed environmental conservation and climate change. We discussed education and skills development. We discussed social cohesion and reconciliation programs and local governance and participation. So these are the peace building initiatives being carried out at the community levels. So let's look at indigenous knowledge systems, right? What are the indigenous knowledge systems that can support peace building projects in our communities? Indigenous knowledge systems, right? These indigenous knowledge systems play a vital role in peace building and environmental management, drawing on centuries of wisdom, practices, and traditions that are deeply rooted in relationship between people and their environment. These systems are often community-centered, holistic, and sustainable, offering valuable insights for contemporary challenges in conflict resolution and environmental sustainability. So we have different indigenous knowledge systems that have been contributing towards this building, right? That is, there are some kind of wisdom people use, you know. There are some proverbs people use to say to promote peace. Do you understand? So if they say a baby who say the mother cannot sleep, he will also not do what sleep. So a baby who doesn't want the mother's peace, him too will not have peace. You know, so in a literal way, in a literal translation, that is just what it means. So indigenous knowledge systems. So how do these contribute to peace and environmental management in our communities? How does this contribute to environmental management and peace building in our communities? Number one, indigenous knowledge in peace building. Indigenous communities have long-standing tradition of conflict resolution that emphasizes harmony, reconciliation, and collective well-being. Every community professes what I have just discussed here now, what I've just mentioned now. Harmony. Everybody wants to live in peace. We are one. Let us live in peace. That's what they are always saying. We profess this, all right? Talk about reconciliation. We are not strangers. We are brothers. We can offend one another, but we can still reconcile and move forward, all right? When offense come, we still reconcile and move forward. That's what we're talking about here. And collective well-being. So there are certain elements that needs to be in place. Like the other time I was talking, I said jungle justice is not a good thing. But if you notice, there has been jungle justice going on in our nation. And some of the things are issues that could have, you know, if only they understood, they could have just used the instrument of restorative justice and that can be resolved. Do you understand? Without killing anybody. Restorative justice is there. And what does restorative justice means? You just retrieve what has been taken, give to the rightful owner, and then discipline as much as you can, but not to kill. So restorative justice, many indigenous cultures use restorative justice practices, which focus on healing relationship rather than punitive measures. So the main goal is to heal relationship, reconcile people. Somebody stole a goat in the community. You kill the person because the person steal a goat. No, you collect the goat. If the person has sold the goat, and maybe later it was discovered that it was the one that, so maybe you may not have a physical goat to give, but you will give money in exchange for that goat. All right. Apologize to the people that stole their goat and possibly embrace peace. Do you understand? Embrace to showcase peace. Do you understand? And also, he vowed that he will not do such again. Do you understand? So that's restorative justice, not jungle justice. Jungle justice. It's not good. So the Kakaka quotes in Rwanda, the quotes, the Gaga quotes in Rwanda, which were rooted in indigenous method of dispute resolution, play a key role in post-genocide reconciliation by involving local communities in the justice process. So another one is the aiders as mediators. Aiders. So in most of our communities, aiders play vital role and mediation role. Do you understand? When there's an issue between parties, they call the most respected aider to come and mediate. The most respected and also trusted. They know that this person does not compromise. This person is of high integrity. So if we call him to come and, like my father, you understand? My father plays such role in his community. Whenever there's a matter and they want somebody to mediate, they must invite my father. That's why he doesn't sit in one place. Everywhere, anytime you go, my father is moving because he is there mediating on people's matters. So aid us as mediators. So once you are an elder in your village, know that you must get sense to mediate because conflicts must happen and they must bring it to you. So you must be a responsible elder because not every elder that they will call them to come and mediate. Do you understand? So that is another thing. So if you must be a mediator, you must be responsible, right? In Maasai culture, that's Kenya and Tanzania, elders elders mediate land and resources disputes, maintaining peace through dialogue and consensus building. I think in Igbo land we have something like this as well. In Yoruba land we also have something like this, right? Where we mediate. So communal decision making, communal what decision making, communal decision making. Many indigenous societies resolve conflict through collective decision making processes, ensuring that all voices are heard. This inclusiveness helps prevent the escalation of disputes. So the whole community come together to discuss and make decisions. We don't want to go into war because they come, big call, everybody come. Oh, the people of so, they want to come for war. No, tell them we don't want war. We are not going to war. They are our brothers. We cannot fight with them. Communal decision making. We say, no, 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 no. We cannot kill our brothers. This shit, this shit our own sword. Everybody put your sword behind. We cannot fight them. Even if they choose to fight us, we cannot fight them. So if you make this kind of decision, the other party will also automatically let go. Do you understand? So yeah, decisions were traditionally made through a council of leaders, reflecting a form of participatory democracy. So, so that is indigenous what knowledge in peace building. So let's look at indigenous knowledge in environmental management. Indigenous knowledge in environmental management. So indigenous communities often maintain a deep spiritual connection to the land. That's why in Igbo land, for instance, they say the God of our ancestors. You understand? The God of our ancestors. In this, in our land, in our village here, they said it very emphatically. In the Igboku land, such has never happened. That is, they have they have such kind of intimacy with their land that you cannot separate them. And think they stand by it. They stand by their belief system. They stand by their traditions and their customs, their way, and it works for them. Works for them. So indigenous communities maintain a deep spiritual connection. These are based on principles of sustainability, conservation, and respect for nature. That's why in some communities there are some certain animals that you cannot kill. They move they move with people in the house. You understand? They move with people around, but you cannot kill them. You understand? You cannot kill them. Everybody grow up to know that you cannot kill them. You understand? Maybe that is the community will have some kind of relationship with them. So those kind of animals are being preserved. In my own place is one small snake, like this green snake. Our people believe that that snake saved them when they were journeying from somewhere to the current place where we are now. So the snake serve as a bridge for them to cross to where we are now. So based on that, they don't kill that particular snake, and it's not harmful. It stay in our houses, in our thatch houses, stay there with us. You understand? Nobody bothers. You see it, but nothing concerns you. You are not worried because you know that it cannot harm you. And the snake is also free with people because they know that people cannot harm. Do you understand? So that's how it is. And so we have so many of these traditions. There are certain trees that you cannot cut. You understand? There are some certain rivers that you cannot enter. So they preserve them, they conserve them, maybe for spiritual reasons, for traditional reasons, and several other factors. But they have that relationship with their environment, right? So sustainable land use, indigenous agricultural practices such as shifting cultivation. After you farm for this particular land for like 2 years, you shift to another land for like 2 years before you come back to that particular one again. Or terracing and agroforestry are designed to prevent soil erosion, maintain biodiversity, and ensure long-term soil fertility. So that is what it is. So example, the Incan terracing system in the Andes of South America, which prevented soil erosion and made agriculture possible on steep mountain slopes. Right. So sacred natural site. Sacred natural site. In fact, it's like I even mentioned this one when I was trying to explain something. So sacred what natural site. Many indigenous groups consider certain areas such as forest in Igbo land. There's in the film they used to tell us the is it the forest of the dead or whatever. Do you understand? So where they used to go and drop punish people, they banish you into the forest of the dead. So you have to go and remain there in the bush there. Do you understand? That is the belief. I don't know that it's true, it's in existence like that. But in the film, what we get to know, and I believe that they act based on what is in the existence. Do you understand? So they go and banish you in the forest of death. So you remain there. So in that kind of forest, nobody enters there. So as a result, that forest is preserved. Do you understand? Nobody enters there. The mountains, rivers, or lakes, all of them are being preserved. Do you understand? They are sacred and therefore off limits to over So these protected areas often serve as critical habitats for biodiversity conservation because animals there are safe. Nobody goes to the forest of death to go and do hunting. Who born you? You won't die because you go there, you will see, begin to see all manner of even small bat. You will fear you. You understand? A small bat will scare you in that place, except you are a stranger you don't know. But the community people who are aware of what that forest means, they will not enter. So the Kayapo people in the Amazon rainforest have used their deep knowledge of the forest to protect large swaths of land from deforestation, balancing human needs with ecological health. So that's it. So talk about the traditional ecological knowledge. Take traditional ecological knowledge. Indigenous knowledge system include detailed understanding of the local ecosystem, species behavior, and natural resources cycles. So tech is increasingly recognized by scientists and policymakers as valuable for managing ecosystem and addressing climate change. So we all exist in an ecosystem, but there are certain species that must be preserved, and there are some of them that have certain lifespan, and so effort must be made towards making sure that they are being conserved and preserved. Do you understand? So in Australia, Aboriginal fire management techniques, often referred to as fire stick farming, involve controlled burns that prevent large wildfire. But it's very unfortunate that they suffer a very dangerous, devastating wildfire lasts how many years? That was in 2020. While we were battling with COVID-19, we were battling with wildfire. We have over 5 billion species of animals and bears died. Do you understand? And other living organisms died. So That's it. So to make sure that that is in place, the Australia has the most, you know, some of these, many of the animals that we see, the kangaroos, mention them, they are there. They used to even walk with people in their houses. Do you understand? Nobody but us. Water management. Indigenous communities often have sophisticated methods of managing water resources to ensure sustainability. This includes practices such as rainwater harvesting and natural irrigation techniques that conserve water. For instance, in India, indigenous communities in Himalayan region. So, Prashant, if you that from India now, you can tell us what happens there. If what we're saying is true, then you let us know because I know you are here. So in India, indigenous communities in the Himalayan region have traditionally used KUL, that is KUL, a system of water channels that sustainably diverts glacier meltwater for irrigation without depleting the source. So I don't know how they do it, but it is there. All right. So that is indigenous knowledge for what environmental management. So let's look at indigenous knowledge and climate resilience. Indigenous knowledge and climate what resilience. So as climate change impacts become more severe, indigenous knowledge systems are increasingly recognized for their role in fostering resilience because after climate disasters, they must bounce back, right? They must bounce back, they must survive, they must stand firm to overcome the impact of climate change. So adaptation strategies, indigenous communities have adapted to environmental changes for centuries, developing strategies such as diversifying crops, flood management, and seasonal migration. That is when when we notice like in other environment where they have advanced technology to detect when the hurricanes or the cyclones are coming or the tsunamis are coming, they evacuate people. You understand? People move. But people know seasons when they used to have some of those challenges where they don't have advanced technology, but based on years of experience, they know that certain seasons are not good for them, certain months of the year are not good for them. So when they, at that time come, they migrate, they move to a certain place, a safer place, until those events are over before they return back to their uh, places. Do you understand? So it's possible. Biodiversity conservation. Indigenous people are the stewards of 80% of the world's biodiversity. Protect those species. Their knowledge about the sustainable use of these resources is key to conserving species systems under threat. So hand over to them, they protect it, they watch over it, they make sure that nothing happens to it. The Zuni people of North America practice dry land farming and have developed techniques to conserve scarce water resources, which are critical in arid environments. So, but these come with challenges and, of course, opportunities, right? When we're trying to use indigenous knowledge to handle some of these things, there are challenges, and of course, there are also opportunities that are associated with using indigenous knowledge uh, in an environment, right? So, you look at some of those things, and then they'll help you. So, let's look at women and youth in peace building at the community level. The youth, the role of the youth and the women in peace building at the community level. So if you're a woman, what are you doing? What is your role? And if you're a youth, what has been your role in peace building in your community? All right. So let's first and foremost look at the role of women in community peace building and development. Number one role of women is that of mediation and peacemakers, of peacemaking. So they are mediators and of course they are peacemakers, women. Women often play informal but critical role as mediators and negotiators within their families and communities. Their involvement in peace processes tends to prioritize reconciliation, social cohesion, and the protection of vulnerable populations. So women, I saw I saw one video on social media some time ago where the women in the community gathered together with sticks and logs. They were flogging one young man who was always beating his wife. So the women gathered together. They grabbed the guy, see how they discipline him, flog him like never before, beat him mercilessly. So if in fact, if they ask him to beat his wife again, I don't think he would do so. Do you understand? Except he is not feeling okay. But with that discipline, the women they gathered together, grab him, lied him flat, and were you know beat the hair out of him. And I think that he will change for good. So women women can do this, right? So but they can also go in a peaceful way. Maybe they must have been speaking with him on this matter. Stop beating your wife. He did not hear. So one day they grabbed him and dealt with him mercilessly. So example in Liberia, women were instrumental in ending the civil war through grassroots peace movements like the Women of Liberia Mass Action for Peace, which led to the negotiations and the eventual peace agreement in 2003. So you can see the role women are playing to resolve conflicts in their areas or to promote peace in their communities. So we have the Women in Peace Building Forum in the Institute. So for those of you that are women that have joined the Institute as members, next year by December we are activating. By November in our convention, we are going to inaugurate the national officials, and of course, we work towards inaugurating the chapters officials. So, uh, some of you, the women that are members of the institute, just be expecting our message. You may be one of them that will be invited to be inaugurated. Do you understand? If we receive such message, don't be surprised. That's what we're going to do. So, we'll talk about promoters of social cohesion. Promoters of social cohesion, women are often central to maintaining what social network in their communities, which helps rebuild trust and cohesion after conflict. So, women always play the role of caregivers. Do you understand? And educators, because they are the ones that always under the watch of children, training, upbringings, and all of that. They are close to their children more than ever. So, for example, in post-genocide Rwanda, women have led reconciliation efforts through what communal farming cooperatives, uniting farmers, adversaries, and promoting healings and economic recovery. So that's what women are doing around the world. They also serve as advocates for human rights and social justice. Women also serve as what? Advocates for human rights and social justice. Women's organizations frequently advocate for gender equity, human rights, and justice, particularly in post-conflict settings where their needs may be marginalized. Because in conflicting situations, women suffer more. Women suffer more. The children also suffer more. So women can be best placed to advocate for their own rights, and where there were abuses, sexual harassment, domestic violence, the women can stand a chance to, you know, play the role of activists to make sure that their human rights is being protected. So in northern Uganda, women's groups have been active in advocating for the rights of former child soldiers and adopted women, pushing for their reintegration into society through education and legal reforms. So we talk about leaders in development projects. Leaders. Women are often at the forefront of local development projects related to health, education, and livelihoods. Their focus on practical everyday needs make development more sustainable and community centered. So they do local contributions, local bank or microfinance and all of that. Champions of environmental sustainability, women also play role to make sure that environment is being conserved. So let's look at the role of the youth in community peace building and development. The youth serves as the agent of change and innovation because the youth they bring creativity and innovation, they bring energy, right? And fresh perspective on peace building efforts. So we also have the youth forum in peace building in the institute. So if a youth also be anticipating to be inaugurated as one of the members of that group. Okay, so and then you'll be tasked with the responsibility to mobilize youth across the nation to make sure that we have youth participate actively in peace building, right? So youth are the agent of social change. In Nigeria, for instance, yes, in Nigeria, of course. I hope you are not surprised I'm mentioning Nigeria. So can you mention one area where the youth play vital role? Can you help us? Don't mention NYSC. I know some of you will mention NYSC. Yes, but NYSC too is working. NYSC too is making a lot of effort to make sure that the youth corps members contribute to make peace in their communities. So it's also one aspect. But the one I want to talk about is not too young to run. Not too young to run. All right. So that legal provisions help young people to contest in political elections, and also they stand a chance of being appointed as as uh, as what appointed in different positions of authority. I have my classmate in secondary school now is my local government chairman. You get my point now. They are just they have been recently elected. So it's my own classmate gone gone gone. So you can see it's a young man, a young person. Do you understand? So that's how it should be. So Young people are coming up, right? And my local government also produced one of the youngest House of Assembly members. Do you understand? The youngest House of Assembly member. So my local government were always making history, creating history. Do you understand? So I'm proud of my local government. All right. So that's what it is. So bridging device. Young people also work towards bridging what device. Young people have the ability to bridge generational and societal divides, particularly in post-conflict settings. Their openness to new ideas and willingness to collaborate across ethnic, religious, and political lines make, and that's the essence why General Gawon introduced the NYSC, so that we can, they can send us to anywhere and we'll go and come back. When I was about to go to Akwa Ibom, they began to tell me all manner of story. I said, calm down, calm down, calm down. You just want to tell me the negative aspect. Don't tell me the negative aspect. See, to extent they say Akwa Ibom people they eat human being. I say, wow, oh yeah, maybe I'll go there, let them eat me. Maybe I will come, maybe my pieces will come and tell the story. Do you understand? So I refuse any form of fear. I do not want to entertain any form of fear in